Assalam alaikum warahamatulahi wabarakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters, you didn't come across this video by chance. In fact, heaven has already spoken to you, and it's time to listen carefully. You've been fighting hard, pushing your limits, climbing mountains of trials and tests that seemed endless. But now, the message is clear. You've done enough. Now, let me take over. Imagine that for a moment. The creator of the heavens, the one who controls the winds and the stars, saying, "Stop struggling alone. Rest your heart. I'm here." How many times have you tried to carry a weight that felt unbearable? How often have you felt like you were the only one holding things together? Your dreams, your faith, your family, your future. Sometimes, it's tempting to believe that asking for help means weakness. But the greatest strength lies in knowing when to surrender. Because holding on too tight can blind us to the gentle hands ready to lift us up. Right now, you might be thinking, but if I stop, will everything fall apart? It's natural to fear losing control, especially when your hopes are on the line. Yet, what if surrendering isn't giving up? What if it's the beginning of a new chapter where you no longer exhaust yourself trying to force the outcome? Think about a captain who, after battling fierce storms, finally trusts the compass and the wind to guide the ship safely home. That's what heaven is offering you, a chance to breathe, to let go, and to allow divine wisdom to steer your path. So, dear brothers and sisters, open your hearts and minds as we journey together through this message. You are not alone. This moment you are in is sacred. A turning point where struggle meets mercy and effort meets ease. As we dive deeper into this divine promise, keep this thought close. You've done enough. Now, it's time to rest in the care of the one who never tires. Stay with me, because what comes next could change the way you see every challenge, every hardship, and every unanswered prayer in your life. You have been through struggles that test the soul, my dear brothers and sisters. Life's challenges are no strangers to any believer. And every one of us knows what it feels like to carry burdens that seem heavier than what the heart can bear. Yet, through all the hardships, there is a mercy that quietly surrounds you. A divine compassion that watches over your efforts and acknowledges every tear, every prayer, every silent plea in the darkness. The reality is this: struggle is not a punishment, nor is it a sign of failure. Rather, it is a part of the journey that molds the believer into a vessel of patience and resilience. Allah's wisdom weaves these tests into our lives, like threads in a beautiful tapestry, unseen by our limited eyes, but full of meaning and purpose. You may feel exhausted now, worn down by the constant effort, but know this: your perseverance is seen, your striving is not forgotten. Have you ever paused to consider that maybe, just maybe, heaven is not asking you to work harder anymore? Maybe the time has come for a different kind of effort, one of trust rather than struggle. The one who created you knows when you have reached your limit. He understands the battle you've been fighting, and his compassion is immense. This is why he is gently inviting you to step back and let him handle what you cannot. Think about this. Often, we think of divine mercy as something far away or abstract, something reserved for the afterlife. But mercy is alive and present now, ready to wrap around your heart like a warm embrace. It is the calm in the storm, the light in the tunnel. Allah's mercy surrounds you even when you feel most alone. It does not mean the struggle disappears immediately, but it means you are never truly without help. Sometimes we confuse being strong with doing everything on our own. But real strength is in humility, in admitting that we are limited, that we need guidance, and that we cannot control every outcome. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us that reliance on Allah is the essence of true power. When you lean on Him, you carry a support that no worldly effort can replace. Let me share an analogy that might help you understand this better. Imagine a farmer who plants seeds, waters them daily, and tends to his field. He works hard, from dawn to dusk, sweating under the sun. Yet, despite all his effort, the growth of the plants depends on something beyond him: the rain, the sun, the soil. If he tried to force the plants to grow faster or taller by sheer strength, he would only harm them. His job is to do his part, then trust nature to take over. Your life is much like this. You have done your part. Now, it's time to trust the one who controls the skies. Here is a little witty reminder for you. Sometimes, we are so busy trying to prove how strong we are that we forget the strongest thing anyone can do is ask for help. Imagine trying to carry a huge rock alone up a mountain. At some point, it makes more sense to ask for a helping hand. Or better yet, to put the rock down and let someone else carry it for a while. My dear brothers and sisters, do not be afraid to surrender. This is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of wisdom and maturity in faith. When heaven says, "You've done enough," it is an invitation to release the heavy burden and open your hands in trust. It is a call to peace, a peace that passes all understanding. You might wonder, how can I trust what I cannot see? How do I let go of control when everything around me feels uncertain? These are natural questions. Trust does not mean blindness. It means choosing to believe in the one who has never failed his servants. It means taking a step back, even when the path is unclear, knowing that every step is guided by divine wisdom. Remember that you are not alone on this journey. Every prophet, every saint, every chosen one before you faced moments where their strength faltered, but their trust remained firm. It is in these moments that the light of heaven shines the brightest. So as we continue, keep this truth close. Your struggle has meaning. Your effort has value. And now, as you prepare to let go, know that divine compassion is ready to carry you forward. As we continue on this path, dear brothers and sisters, it is important to recognize the signs that show you have truly done enough, that the time has come to stop struggling alone and to allow heaven to take control. Sometimes, we are so caught up in our own efforts that we miss the subtle messages sent to us through our hearts, our circumstances, and the peace or unrest within us. One clear sign is the deep fatigue that weighs on your soul. It is not just physical tiredness, but a spiritual weariness that no amount of rest can fix. You feel drained from constantly trying to make things happen, pushing against walls that seem to close tighter with every attempt. This exhaustion is a powerful indicator that your role is shifting. You have labored long and hard. Now, it is time for divine intervention. Another sign is repeated closed doors. Have you noticed how, despite your prayers and efforts, some paths remain stubbornly shut? It can be frustrating and confusing. But these closed doors are not punishments or signs of failure. They are protection, redirections, or simply waiting rooms where you prepare for what is next. When your own efforts no longer move the needle, and no amount of struggle opens these doors, it's a signal that heaven is at work behind the scenes, preparing a better opening for you. Look inside yourself. Do you feel a strange calmness when you think about surrendering your worries? Sometimes, when we try to resist letting go, our minds race and our hearts tighten. But if you notice moments when the idea of giving up control feels strangely peaceful, it is a sign your spirit is ready. That quiet peace is heaven whispering, "Trust me." It's natural to be cautious of surrender because we often associate it with loss or weakness. Yet surrender is an act of courage. It is like a stubborn mule refusing to budge. But heaven is asking you to climb off that mule, to let go of the reins, and allow the one who knows the way to lead you. Witty but meaningful reminder. Ever try convincing a mule to move when it's set in its ways? Sometimes the best way forward is to get off, stretch your legs, and watch the mule find its path. Or better yet, have the one who knows every path guide you instead. Another sign is the shifting of your prayers and feelings. When you no longer find yourself desperate or frantic in prayer, but calm and patient, it shows your heart is evolving. You move from begging for control to asking for guidance. This subtle but profound change means you are ready for heaven's takeover. There is also the sign of your heart quietly opening to new possibilities. Maybe you have been stuck in one way of thinking, one dream, one plan. When you find yourself slowly accepting that there might be a better path, one you had not imagined, you are preparing yourself for divine guidance to flow freely. Do not be discouraged if you feel uncertain. Uncertainty is part of the process. What matters is the willingness to release your grip and trust that even though you cannot see the full picture, the painter of the universe has the masterpiece in mind. It's like standing in front of a puzzle with missing pieces. Frustrating, yes. But instead of forcing the wrong pieces, you wait for the one who holds the box cover to show you the way. So, my dear brothers and sisters, take a moment today to reflect. Are you feeling tired beyond rest? Are doors closing no matter how much you knock? Is your heart quietly willing to let go? These are not signs of failure, but signs of readiness. You are being prepared to move from effort alone to effort with divine support. From struggle to surrender. From carrying the burden to letting it be carried for you. This is a sacred transition, one that requires patience and faith. Heaven is calling you to this new stage. Listen carefully, because the greatest relief you will ever know is just on the other side of this surrender. Now that we have explored the signs showing you've done enough, it's time to understand deeply what it truly means when heaven says, "Let me take over." This phrase is far more than words. It is a profound invitation to transform the way you live, think, and trust. It is a call to move beyond self-reliance and step into divine reliance, which is a whole new level of strength and peace. Letting heaven take over does not mean you become passive or stop trying. On the contrary, it means you actively choose to release the need to control every detail and outcome. It means you acknowledge that while your efforts are important, they are limited, and true power lies with the one who governs all things. This surrender is an act of faith, the highest form of worship, because you are saying, "I trust you more than my own plans." Imagine you are steering a ship through stormy seas. For too long, you have gripped the wheel so tightly that your hands ache. The waves keep crashing, the wind howls, and exhaustion threatens to sink you. Now you hear a voice, the captain's voice, telling you to loosen your grip and let him take the helm. At first, this might seem terrifying. What if he doesn't steer the way you expect? But in truth, the captain knows the waters better than you ever could. When you let heaven take over, you surrender control. But you don't surrender hope. You do not give up on your dreams or your prayers. Instead, you hand them over to the one whose wisdom surpasses all understanding. You trust that he will guide your path in ways you cannot yet see, but that will ultimately lead to what is best for you. This is the essence of submission, a voluntary yielding of the ego's desire to control, replaced with a trust that Allah's plan is perfect, even if it unfolds differently than you imagined. It's important to remember that the surrender is not a single moment but a continuous choice every day, every hour, even every minute. Sometimes This divine takeover means accepting delays or changes in your life that initially feel like setbacks. But these changes are not punishments. They are adjustments in your journey to align with the best outcome. Like a potter reshaping clay, heaven is molding your life for a purpose far greater than you can comprehend. Witty, yet profound reminder. Giving up the steering wheel doesn't mean your car stops. It means you finally have a driver who never gets lost. This image reminds us that trusting divine guidance brings security, even amid uncertainty. Letting heaven take over also involves releasing the worry, fear, and anxiety that come from trying to control everything. When you surrender, you find a peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. You become anchored in faith, no longer tossed by every storm of life. Moreover, divine takeover opens the door for new blessings and opportunities that you might never have imagined. When you stop forcing things and start trusting, your heart and mind become receptive to miracles and answers in unexpected ways. This process requires patience. It is not always easy to relinquish control. The human mind naturally wants to plan, predict, and manage outcomes. But remember, the one who calls you to surrender has infinite wisdom. He knows what you need better than you do. Preparing your heart for what it means to truly let heaven take over is a journey in itself, one that asks for patience, courage, and a deep willingness to change the way you relate to life's challenges. It is not simply about saying the words, "I trust you," and moving on. It requires a transformation that touches every part of your being. You must begin by quieting the noise inside your mind, the constant chatter of doubt, worry, and fear that keeps you restless and unable to fully surrender. This quieting comes through sincere reflection, prayer, and a gentle surrendering of your worries one by one. Imagine that each worry is a stone in a backpack you carry every day. You have been carrying this burden for so long that you may have forgotten what it feels like to walk freely. But now, step by step, you begin to take those stones out and lay them down. With every stone released, your heart becomes lighter, more open to the guidance that has been waiting patiently for you all along. As you prepare yourself, notice the subtle shifts within. The impatience that once ruled your spirit starts to soften, replaced by a patience born not from resignation but from trust. You begin to understand that timing is a mystery that only heaven controls. And this mystery is not your enemy, but your protector. You might find that what once seemed like delays or obstacles are actually the very spaces where your faith is being strengthened, where your soul is being trained to receive blessings in a way it never could before. The more you lean into this truth, the easier it becomes to accept the unknown, knowing that behind every closed door, there is a wisdom you have yet to see. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, whispering that surrender means giving up, or that you are alone in this struggle. But these moments are tests, subtle reminders to hold firm. When doubt arrives, turn to the quiet moments of your day, the early morning prayers, the stillness before sleep, and remind yourself that you are not carrying this alone. Divine support surrounds you even when it feels hidden, like the roots of a tree, unseen beneath the soil, but holding it steady through storms. Another key part of preparation is learning to let go of attachments that bind your heart to outcomes and expectations. It is natural to want certain results, to dream of specific futures. But when these desires turn into chains, they prevent you from experiencing the freedom that comes with surrender. This does not mean you stop hoping or praying for good things. Rather, it means you place your hopes in the hands of one who knows best, allowing your heart to open to whatever unfolds, confident that it is for your highest good. It is like planting a seed in the ground. You water it, care for it, but you cannot rush its growth. You trust the process and the time it takes. Gratitude also becomes a powerful tool as you prepare your heart. When your focus shifts from what is missing or broken to what is already present and good, you invite peace to enter. Even small blessings, a kind word, a breath of fresh air, a moment of laughter become anchors for your spirit. Gratitude softens the hardness of worry and fear, replacing them with lightness and hope. Preparing your heart means embracing humility, recognizing that you do not have all the answers and that this is okay. It means admitting that some battles are beyond your strength and wisdom, and that true power comes from acknowledging this and turning to the one who holds all power. This humility does not diminish you, it elevates you because it opens the door to divine guidance and support. As we come to the close of this message, remember this truth with all your heart. You are among the chosen ones. You have carried your burdens, fought your battles, and remained steadfast through trials that would have broken many. Heaven has seen your effort and now declares, "You've done enough. It's time to let me take over." This is not a call to surrender in defeat, but an invitation to step into a peace deeper than anything you have known before. The journey of surrender is one of courage and trust. It asks you to lay down the heavy weight of control and worry, to open your hands and heart to divine guidance. Know that this transition is sacred, filled with mercy and infinite wisdom. As you take this step, your path will be illuminated in ways unseen, and your soul will find rest even amid the storms. Before we part, I want to leave you with a prayer for strength, for peace, and for unwavering faith. O Creator of the heavens and the earth, you who never tire and whose mercy knows no bounds, we come before you humbled and hopeful. Bless your chosen servants who have labored with patience and sincerity. Grant them the courage to release their burdens into your hands and the peace that surpasses all understanding. Guide their steps toward what is best, open doors of opportunity, and fill their hearts with contentment. Protect them from despair and surround them with your light in every moment of darkness. Increase their faith and grant them ease in their struggles. Let them always remember that in surrender, there is strength, and in trust, there is victory. Ameen. May this prayer be a reminder that you are never alone, and that divine support is always within reach. As you move forward, hold this message close. You have done enough. Now, let heaven lead you to the blessings awaiting you. If this message touched your heart, share it with others who need to hear it. Let us build a community of believers ready to embrace trust, surrender, and divine mercy. Thank you for joining me today, dear brothers and sisters. May your journey be filled with light, peace, and endless blessings.